It is Tuesday. It's the 14th of May. I'm Monita Rajpal. This is CNN News Center live from Hong Kong. Making news today. She lives a very public life, but today Hollywood superstar Angelina Jolie has revealed a very private battle. The 37-year-old says she has had secret surgery to remove both her breasts after discovering she carries a faulty gene that dramatically increases her chances of developing cancers from the charity Breakthrough Breast Cancer. She joins us now live from our bureau in London. Sally, thank you very much for being with us. Talk to us a little bit about this test that we understand that Ms. Jolie had taken, had herself tested in order to make this very difficult decision, this BRCA1 test, we understand.
Yeah, the BRCA1 and BRCA2 genes are genes that are associated with an increased risk of breast and ovarian cancer. So for women who do have faulty BRCA1 or BRCA2 genes...
They're speaking to us from our offices in London. We appreciate that. 3 boats carrying as many as 150 people are believed to have capsized off the coast of Myanmar. A UN humanitarian agency says the boats were carrying people fleeing an approaching storm. Cyclone Mahasen looks on track to hit Myanmar later this week. A graphic video, too extreme for us to show you, appears to show a Syrian rebel leader eating the heart of a Syrian soldier. That has been released on the internet. Human Rights Watch has identified Abu Sakar as the man committing this atrocity. He is reported to be a founder of the rebel Farouk Brigade. British Prime Minister, meanwhile, David Cameron, called for the international community to give more support to the Syrian opposition after talks in Washington with U.S. President Obama on Monday. The Associated Press says phone records of its staff have been secretly collected using the court orders by the U.S. Justice Department. The news agency calls it a massive and unprecedented intrusion into its reporting. Politicians and civil libertarians are demanding an explanation from the Justice Department. 3 astronauts, a Canadian, an American, and a Russian, have returned to Earth after 146 days in space on the International Space Station. The men landed in Kazakhstan early Tuesday morning. Among the crew was Commander Chris Hadfield, who became an internet sensation after posting a video of a cover version of David Bowie's song, Space Oddity. The search for survivors in the rubble of Bangladesh's deadly building collapse has now ended. 1,127 bodies were pulled from the ruins of a garment factory over the past 20 days. At least 98 people are still missing. In a Dhaka suburb close to the site of last month's building collapse, at least 100 factories have been shut down indefinitely. Staff there have refused to work, citing safety fears. Meanwhile, several multinational retailers have agreed to support a new plan to prevent fires and building collapses in Bangladesh's clothing factories. Leonie Lakhani joins us now live from Dhaka with more on that. Hello, Leonie. Leonie?
Yes.
From Dhaka. You are watching CNN News Center live from Hong Kong. CNN News Center live from Hong Kong. I'm Monita Rajpal. The British Prime Minister David Cameron is spending the second day of his 3-day trip to the United States in Boston. On Monday, he met Barack Obama at the White House, and today he is due to visit the memorial to the victims of last month's Boston Marathon bombings. CNN's Deborah Fayerick is in Boston. She joins us now. And Deborah, we understand that the British Prime Minister wants to learn what the Americans did in response to these bombings.
Absolutely, Monita. And one of the big things that the U.S. and Great Britain are facing is this self-radicalization. And if you're on U.S. soil, it's something that all world leaders are concerned about happening. Monita?
Indeed. All right, Deborah Fayerick there in Boston. Thank you so much for that. How do I survive today? It's a question no one should ever have to ask, let alone a child. Well, for North Korea's orphans, the unfortunate reality of the regime means begging for food in the bitter cold, and worse. But children like Yoon-hee escaped to South Korea, where she's finally enjoying a life she never knew existed. This is her story.
제일 두려웠던 거는 내가 오늘 저녁엔 어떻게 자지?
We're watching CNN News Center live from Hong Kong. Manchester City are looking for a new football manager after sacking Roberto Mancini on the eve of their penultimate game of the season. Let's get details now from World Sports' Alex Thomas in London. Hello, Alex.
Yeah, hi Monita. He ended Manchester City's 35-year trophy drought. Stories. Christina will keep us up to date on the Mancini latest from Manchester and a full World Sports Show in just over 5 hours' time. Monita, back to you.
All right, Alex, thank you very much for that. India, Bangladesh and Myanmar are all in the path of a tropical cyclone. Meteorologist Mari Ramos is at the World Weather Center with those details. Hi, Mari.
Hey, Monita, you know, tropical cyclones are quite rare in the Bay of Bengal. They only happen... Back to you.
Okay, Mari, thank you for that.
Sure.
You are watching CNN News Center. I'm Monita Rajpal, live at CNN Hong Kong. Thank you for joining us. We'll update you with the news headlines in just a couple of minutes.